How you enter sleep determines the quality of sleep, but also the next day. How you enter death determines the quality of your birth and the life of that birth. And the more of that you've put into something, some object, the more attached we get, because we see that as me, myself, and I. I am this body is a thought. It is not a reality. Well, let's start with verse 8.
अभ्यासयोगयुक्तेन चेतसा नान्यगामिना परमं पुरुषं दिव्यं याति पार्थानुचिन्तयन् कविं पुराणमनुशासितारम् अनोरणीयां समुनुस्मरेद्यः सर्वस्य धातारमचिन्त्य रूपम् आदित्यवर्णं तमसः परस्तात् प्रयाणकाले मनसाचलेन भक्त्या युक्तो योगबलेन चैव भ्रुवोर्मध्ये प्राणमावेश्य सम्यक् सतं परं पुरुषमुपैति दिव्यम् यदक्षरं वेदविदो वदन्ति विशन्ति यद्यतयो वीतरागाः यदिच्छन्तो ब्रह्मचर्यं चरन्ति तत्ते पदं संग्रहेण प्रवक्ष्ये.
All right. Arjuna, he who with his mind disciplined through yoga in the form of practice of meditation and thinking of nothing else is constantly engaged in contemplation of God, attains the supremely effulgent divine Purusha, or God. He who contemplates on the all-knowing, ageless being, the ruler of all, subtler than the subtle, the universal sustainer, possessing a form beyond human conception, effulgent like the sun, and far beyond the darkness of ignorance. Having by the power of yoga firmly held the life breath in the space between the two eyebrows, even in the time of death, and then contemplating on God with a steadfast mind, full of devotion, he reaches verily that supreme divine Purusha, or God. I think the line is beyond human conception. It's really hard, even when Gurudev was describing the glow, or as he said, the light. It has, and then he said it doesn't have form, but light is also form, right? We immediately think of photon. There is some form. I think it's too hard for us to even understand, just understand conceptually, this notion of a God that we do not add some kind of substance to. You know, it's too difficult. But the other thought I had, at least when Gurudev was talking, because there's not much I can really say about this content unless you have some question or discussion. But when he was talking about death, the time of death, we often think of death as an end. But as he was describing this idea of whatever you're thinking, the craving, the aversion, that gets locked in. So actually, the seed of your next life is not when you're born, it's when you die. You following what I'm saying? So death is, on the one hand, we could say it's the end, but actually, it's the moment of death that determines the beginning of your next form and where you go from there. So death is an interesting place. It's like, between sunrise and the morning. It's this dusk, this period, this moment where there's the end and the beginning. and that kicks us over into the next birth. And the flash for me was, okay, when you're born, you've already fixed what you're going to live. We discussed this, I think, the last two times. But when we come into the world, we already have the seed. If it's a mango seed, you become a mango tree. Do you get what I mean, what I'm trying to say? If the seed is an orange seed, you can only become an orange tree. You can't go, maybe one fruit is a little sour, maybe one is a little bit sweet, but you cannot go from a mango seed to an orange tree or vice versa. So the importance of all that we do, our sadhana, our knowledge, our seva, in a way, what Gurudev says is just preparation for how we will die. No? It's preparation to let go, learning to let go of craving and aversion. The seed for the next life is being sown in this life. What kind of seed it will be, not just sowing the seed, but what kind of seed tree will you be is what will get determined at the end of a life. If that's very real, not as an idea, oh, it's a very nice idea, but if it's very real, this notion that what I go to sleep with, I'm going to wake up with, and that's going to determine my day, what I wake up with. I think when I sleep, I don't want to hold on to nonsense. Are you hearing me? What I'm saying to you? I don't, like, you have to consciously ask yourself. I know that I do this exercise every night. It's not an exercise, but it's a spontaneous thing. I lie down, and the first thing before I roll over is like I'm on my back. I'm just pulling the blanket, and immediately my hand sort of lands on my chest, and there's this experience or a sense thought of, okay. A day and a life is over. I've done the best I could. Tomorrow morning is a new day and a new life, and I get to start again. I don't want to carry the difficulties of today. I'm just speaking practically. Forget next birth and all of that. I don't want to carry whatever didn't work today, go to sleep with it because I know that I'm going already determining what my next day is going to be about. I may not be conscious, but that file is open in the background. And somehow that file, what didn't work for me today, is going to interfere in the perception of tomorrow as I go through that day. Do you hear what I'm saying to you? So perhaps something to consider as a practice of death, if you want to see it like that, is to just make a decision like, I'm not going to go to sleep with I should have, I could have, I didn't, why didn't it, we need this, I want that, why isn't this working, why is that happening? Because that is the seed of what you're going to grow tomorrow. If you just break it down, just practically like that, it kind of wakes you up to say, I don't need to do this. I don't need to somehow carry it. And it is a choice. It is possible to say, I'm done. The day's over. I'm done. And you kind of put a big smile on your face, and then you cuddle, you move the blanket under your chin, and you roll over and you go to sleep. And somehow you do wake up a little differently. And the days that I don't do that for whatever reason, I see that my morning is unconsciously, it's fine, but somehow there's a little lukewarm, drippy feeling that carries through the day. Do you know what I'm saying? This, like, if the water falls on you full on, you're okay, but that little dup, 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 like, ugh, this is so annoying. There's nothing more annoying. A bucket of water, you get shocked, but then you're done. Niagara Falls, maybe you just snap and you're done. But this like deep, deep, and sometimes those things fall in the most annoying places, like near your nose or like around your ear, and ugh, God, can you just be here somewhere? No, it's in the worst place. And like that thread that you put into your night carries into the morning in some shape or form. So, at least conceptually, just as a thought, even, there's something to be said about saying a day and a life is done, over. The best that I could live, I have lived that day. Even if I could have lived it better, it's too late, it's gone. It's over. It's another seed. Tomorrow morning is a different kind of a tree. It's over. So fine. Let's see what happens tomorrow. And yes, there'll be some things, some pieces, some people, some situations will carry from this life to next life, today to tomorrow. But your craving or aversion can be dropped. This is the piece I'm getting to. It's not that you have a different life, different people. It's the craving or the aversion to the pieces that carry from yesterday into tomorrow doesn't need to be there. That's the final piece. Do you understand what I just said? It's a very big piece, that piece. You will still have, if you had some, oh, I don't know, what am I going to do and how am I going to get from A to B? You didn't have an answer. Tomorrow morning, you still may not have an answer from A to B, but today it was anxiety. I don't know how I'm going to get there. I need to do this and that thing has to happen, and there's so many things to do. That's anxiety. If you disconnect at the moment of the seed, meaning as you're falling asleep, okay, that was the best I could possibly do. It was a good day. However it was, it's done. Tomorrow I start again. It's a new life. The moment you go there, you will see that the probability of carrying non-aversion or non-craving to that same situation can be dropped. I think I just said something really profound. Though I've thought about it before as I articulate it out loud, I hear myself in terms of what that sutra really is saying. Don't you think that was like really, that's God is somehow amazing what he pours through us. Ignorant people, we're going to do the Gita, and then something comes out that's like, oh, yeah, it's a great way to manage life that exists today, that'll be there tomorrow, but those are situations, things, people, places, events. How you interact with those things, I like it, I don't like it, should be, should not be, they're good, they're bad, oh my God, hai toba, that can shift. And it shifts when the seed is formed. So for us on a daily basis, the seed is each and every night when we sleep. I think we could end the session. That's really good. It's it's very good. It's really a clear thing. So now you have another homework. You know how from the basic course you have the homework of doing 10 Ujjayi breath? You remember that? So you do the 10 Ujjayi breath, and as the breath 1, 2, you also have this sense like it's over. It was amazing or not, it's over. New day tomorrow. New life tomorrow. Just 2, 3 breaths like that, and you slide into sleep. How you enter sleep determines the quality of sleep, but also the next day. How you enter death determines the quality of your birth and the life of that birth. You know? So don't complain. Don't. The problem doesn't go away, is you will not see it with the same point of view. There'll be some little gap. That's amazing. I love that. I think I understand this sutra even more. Okay, let me read it again. He who with his mind disciplined through yoga in the form of practice of meditation and thinking of nothing else is constantly engaged in contemplation of God attains the supremely effulgent divine Purusha. Having by the power of yoga firmly held the life breath in the space between the two eyebrows, I have no idea how that happens. I mean, I don't know, how long can you keep your attention on the eyebrow? Have you, like, in Hollow and Empty, huh? Take your attention to the point between dunk. Before he even finishes the sentence, you're out of the eyebrow center. Hasn't that happened? Like, ding. The reason is because of thought, I think. So there's two things in life, right? There's thought and there's bhava. Bhava translates to feeling, but I don't like that word because oftentimes feeling is, as a word in English, connotates the idea of emotion also. Do you understand what I'm saying? So it's not emotion. Bhava is, if anyone has an idea to translate this, tell me, but bhava is the substance of a feeling, not the emotion of a feeling. Okay, so for the external world, thought is there. Yes, we need thought in order to manage the world outside. To go inward, particularly towards the essence, towards the divine, towards the self, devotion is the word we use easily, but you could say bow, feeling. And what has happened is we overuse thought and we use it in the wrong place. When we do go inward, when we do want to rest in self or in devotion, somewhere the thought sneaks in, thinking. In fact, the thought idea is I am it. What I think is what I am. The thought thing is so strong, and the bow thing. Okay, remember this example? You may have heard it before. A mother loves her son or daughter. No, amazing, so much love, my son, and they'll do anything. And one day, maybe when they're 8, 10, 12 years old, or 8, 10 months old, it doesn't matter, someone comes and says, oh, that's not really your son or daughter. There was an accident in the hospital and they were switched. This one is really your son or daughter, not that one. Are you catching to what I'm saying? Do you suppose the mother, the father, in this case, I'm saying parents, do you suppose they would love that child exactly the same way after they hear the news? What do you think? Yes or no? Do you see? Even the bow of a parent has a thought in it. What is the thought? My son, my daughter. Gurudev used, what did he say? Deha something. Body conscious. I am this body. And because I am this body, then every other body is based on this body is mine. That's a thought. That is not a feeling. Bear with me because I'm sort of processing this as I'm speaking with you. But really, it's very difficult to have bow without a thought. And that is what I think Lord Krishna is saying in terms of concentrated mind, without anything else, contemplating nothing other than the divine. Not contemplating as in thought, but that substantive experience where the thought is out. What is the thought? The me, the mine, the ours, the yours, that is absent. So love is me and mine. Devotion is love for all. There is no me or mine. Are you hearing me? I mean, it's like, okay, like I'm looking at a painting on my wall, just like somebody else's painting. I don't know where I was this past weekend. They were talking about the Mona Lisa with like Chitali and all of us, and or maybe it was in Sacramento. Like, what's the big deal about Mona Lisa? When Picasso did his paintings, people like put them in their garage or gave them away or sold them. Oh, so beautiful, so beautiful. They didn't do that. They gave it away. But after he died, now the painting is so beautiful. Is that an experience of the beauty of the painting or thought as a beauty? Because maybe it's worth a lot. Do you hear what I'm saying to you? It's very difficult for us to have just bow. That and I gave the most tender example, which is a child. Forget paintings, forget all those things. But a parent, once they get told, oh, we're so sorry, there was a mistake made, 8 months into it, or 8 years into it, or 18, this is not your child. This one is really your child. Would they say, doesn't matter, we'll keep this one and you go, carry on, bye bye? Would something change with this child internally? Don't worry, sweetheart. We still love you, but I think there would be something else there. Oh, it's not my kid. What about our kid? What do you think our kid is like? Oh, I could see that quality is not like any of us. It's strange that I don't know. The mind will come up with all kinds of stories. So what when Gurudev says, free of craving and aversion, or when Lord Krishna in these past verses is talking about being established in, he's talking about deha bhav being absent. I am this body is so strong in us. When that is gone, then one dissolves into the causal body, as Gurudev said. Then it's up to divine will. Then you can decide, oh, I think I'm going to go down and play a little bit longer. Look, I understand what I said, but the thought behind it is, oh, dude, how is that ever possible? For myself, that thought pops up. But then immediately the thought also comes, what Gurudev said. You have to have trust. What has to be done will be done. What you have to do, you will do. What has to come will come. In the end, it's divine will. In between the beginning and the end, we have some room to think that we have some influence over all of this. So you have to play the game and pretend to have influence and keep going, you know. And practice going to bed every night to wake up beautiful in the next day. I think that's better sadhana than it's enough already. 40 years of second stage and third stage. Oh my God. Ay, ay, ay. I did not say that. That just came out of some divine place that had nothing to do. Oh. It's a good sadhana, honestly. I don't know. I've been doing it for years, that notion. I don't know what it does or not, but I do know that those moments when I forget, the days I forget, there's like a drone in the background. I never linked it that maybe it has something to do with not being conscious in entering the seed of the next day. You know? You in seed form will happen when you die. Rajshree Patel, in seed form, happened before I was born on February 26th of 62. Imagine. It's crazy. This thing is, the universe is crazy. Sometimes you think like this, and then everything feels a little, wow. Avengers, a little bit Avatar, like out there. Oh, wow. like the two-headed bird that Gurudev saw in one of the Navratris. Imagine like a little grape on a banyan tree. This doesn't work. Or the power of a banyan tree in a grapevine. That doesn't make sense. Floating along. So this big giant bird, meaning how we go to sleep at night with what kind of intensity and energy and mindset has to be able to carry you the next day. What you go to sleep with has to be such that the next day's challenges plus what you carried from yesterday, meaning today, can carry you. And most of the time we can't, because there's been like day after day after day, we keep carrying it. And then it's like the two-headed bird, and the body's this small. There's no room. There's no hollow, empty space. And so we fry more and more. So by the time we get to be 40, 50 years old, we laugh about this much. Our body moves about this much. Like movement of life becomes a doorknob, a little to the left, a little to the right, and that's it. You know, inflexible, stuck. Hmm. The seed that is you. You think about that tonight when you go to sleep. Ay, ay, ay. Okay. I'm going to stop there because Gurudev's video is not further than that, so we'll stop there. Or should we continue? What do you want? You want to discuss anything? We have 15 minutes. How many say stop? Nobody? One person? Okay, continue discussion. Oh, you guys are suckers for punishment. Okay, Mala, what verse are we on? 11.
Yeah, 11, Didi.
Please, go ahead.
यदक्षरं वेदविदो वदन्ति विशन्ति यद्यतयो वीतरागाः यदिच्छन्तो ब्रह्मचर्यं चरन्ति तत्ते पदं सङ्ग्रहेण प्रवक्ष्ये.
Bhagavan is speaking, Lord Krishna is speaking. I shall tell you briefly about that supreme goal, God, who is an embodiment of truth, knowledge, and bliss, which the knowers of the Veda term as the indestructible. I think it's obvious, but it's important to say they don't mean Vedas as in the scriptures. Vedas as in the knowledge and the wisdom of the self, right? It's not a book, it's not the text only, but the content. Satchit Anand, right? That's what he's referring to, which the knower of the Veda term as the indestructible, which striving recluses free from passion merge into, and desiring which the celibates practice brahmacharya. Read the next verse, Mala.
सर्वद्वाराणि संयम्य मनोहृदि निरुध्य च मूर्ध्न्याधायात्मनः प्राणम् आस्थितो योगधारणाम् ओमित्येकाक्षरं ब्रह्म व्याहरन् मामनुस्मरन् यः प्रयाति त्यजन् देहं स याति परमां गतिम्.
Having controlled all the senses and firmly holding the mind in the heart, and then drawing the life breath to the head, and thus remaining steadfast in yogic concentration on God, he who leaves the body and departs uttering the one indestructible Brahma Om, and dwelling on me in my absolute aspect, reaches the supreme goal. Firmly holding the mind in the heart, it means just really to me, just exactly what we spoke about, which is deha bhav ko chhodna hai. You have to drop this notion of thought. It's only thought that keeps us bound. I am this body is a thought. It is not a reality. It is not even an experience. It's a thought that we deeply believe and therefore assume its truth. Because this notion, I am the body, we have never really even looked at what the body is. We move about thinking the body is one solid thing, correct? Like non-changing. We know the body changes, but the experience inside, the experience of the one that's saying, I am this body, is as if the body doesn't change. It's only when you look in the mirror do you have this, or when you can't sit up, or when you can't walk, or when you're slow, climbing up the stairs is a problem. Only then, in reference to, you have the experience of change in the body. Even this thought, this body is changing, is not very solid. I'm this body, yes. This body is porous, like a mosquito net, like Gurudev says, hollow and empty, full of space. Things are moving. What this body is today, it is not tomorrow. This reality does not exist with this thought, I am this body. That's why I say this body is not a reality. It is not an experience. We do not have an experience of this body. It's a belief around a thought. That's a real mouthful, but you have to think about that, really. This is the only way, holding the mind in the heart means only the bhav would remain. Not I am something. The something drops, just I am. Just the bhav remains. We have to contemplate this. Those were the previous verses. Okay, am I this body? What is this body? Where was I? How was I before this body? Where will it be when the body drops? If I am this body, when the body's sleeping, how do I still think that I exist? Because I do know I exist. I remember I had a dream. I know that I slept deeply. I know I had restless sleep. Body was gone. So who was the one that was entering all those different layers of consciousness? So am I this body? This contemplation has never really thoroughly, fully, deeply happened for us. We do it like when we sit, when we're with Gurudev, from time to time, we have a little experience. Even when we meditate, we sit to meditate. At some point, body awareness drops away. Yes? Maybe not every time, but body awareness drops away. Awareness is there, but that I am sitting here is gone. This happens a lot. I don't know about you, but especially during uh, advanced courses, you're sitting there, there's a meditation, and you know you are, but you don't know where you are. You forgot. I know this is true for me. I've forgotten, quote, forgotten that I'm in a large room with people in front of me. There's a meditation tape being played, and I'm not really sure, did the chant finish? Is he in the middle of the chant? I have no notion of that. And then suddenly this thought creeps in. Oh, where are you? You know, suddenly this maybe some sound or something in the room brings you in almost like a jerk, like a push into a system. And then you're like, oh yeah. And then you scramble for the thought, where is this body? Not where am I? Where am I sitting? Do you have that experience? Like you're scrambling to find where. And then you suddenly remember, oh yeah, I'm in a course. Oh, and then you kind of open your eyes and you look around, but the experience of being nowhere or everywhere and suddenly seeing people in front of you, there's a kind of like a little disconnect. But the very next moment, We drop that experience of letting go of body consciousness, awareness, and we're back into I am this body. That is how deep this root is. Are you hearing me? It's really, I mean, how many times that has been there? We sit for 4 days, and even if it's not continuous for 4 days, there's continuous glimmer of you being there without a body, you know? But we don't ever click into it. This is nididhyasa. This is manana. You know, we have an experience, but this thing about I am this body is so strong that we just kind of consider that experience of no body awareness, oh, a nice passing good feeling experience. We don't solidify that just like we have solidified I am this body. Do you see that? We do not solidify this experience of, wait a second, I'm here. We never really come out of meditation. You tell people can stretch your legs and lie down. They have, you can tell, you can feel the room. It went into this deep silent space. That means a lot of people in the room had that sense of dropping the body. Can stretch your legs and lie down. They stretch the legs and lie down. And they're back into a body as themselves, as an experience. Oh my God. But there are moments where you just sit. You can't move. You know you are, but you have no urge to stretch the body because there's nothing. You don't feel. It's only when you lock in again, then some stiffness, something comes back in slowly. Who are you? What are you? Who am I? What am I? It's just some belief that we took on from around age of 2. We have never really dug into it so much so that our discovery gets solidified. That's why it takes such a long time. What Lord Krishna had said in the previous chapters and verses, birth after birth, you come again, 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 practice, meditate, knowledge, guru, etc. And then one day it happens. I said the word happens, okay? I think if the more you really that experience solidifies, wait a second, I don't know what I am, but I know it's not just that I'm this body. That even that has not solidified. I don't know who I am. They keep talking about Satchit Anand. I don't know about that, but I also don't think I am what I think I am. Even that's not solid. There's just a continuous conceptual reminder. True, it's not solid. It comes in glimpses, you know, that maybe there's something more. When we're thinking, analyzing, disagreeing with our spouse or partner, you're very sure what you think is what you are. That's why you fight tooth and nail because it feels like death to you. I'm not, what do you mean? You always win. You're always right. We always do it your way. You're the one who's making this happen. What? You're fighting for an idea. It- if an idea was as, like, it's like this cup coming and going, not your whole life, you wouldn't fight for this cup. Okay, you can have two here. No, my peace is so much more important. Please take the cup. We don't do that because our thinking, our belief, which are thoughts, is so strongly an identity of who I am, what I am. You know? Seriously, you think about your home life or at the office or your team. The struggle is about ideas. And I don't mean just ideas on how to make some coding better or some, I don't know, whatever that might be that you do. I don't mean just that, but who I am. You always right. You always do this thing. You never listen. I also matter. What matters? Who's I? Having controlled all the senses. When would all the senses be controlled? The moment we have this idea of not being the body. You don't have to control the senses anymore. And firmly holding the mind in the heart. And then drawing the life breath at the head. Then wherever our attention goes, prana or life force would follow. This is part one. Wherever mind goes, wherever our awareness goes, breath follows. And why we feel so much heartache is because our prana has gone into so many things, objects and people and situations. So if anything happens to those objects, to the degree you have put prana into that object, my cup came from my uncle, came from my grandfather, who passed it on to him. Oh my God, my cup, amazing cup. Break this cup, you'll feel like you just broke your life. Because so much of attention, we are awareness. Let's change the word from attention to awareness. Who we are, even if it's conceptual right now, but it can't be conceptual after 7 chapters. If I say, look at me, it's not your eyes that are looking, it's awareness that comes to look at me. Are you getting what I'm saying? We are intelligence, awareness. You could call it attention. And the more of that you've put into something, some object, the more attached we get because we see that as me, myself, and I. And it becomes a form rather than the awareness that flowed to that form. Are you hearing me? It's no longer, it's not awareness that's flowing. You close your eyes. You just do it for 2 minutes. You close your eyes. There you are. What is the you? It's intelligence that's you, within you. A certain kind of knowing, a certain kind of attention, a certain kind of awareness. We can call it intelligence. That's what's moving. Take your attention to your toes. What is taking the attention to the toes? What is attention? What moved to the toes? It's not like a little person walked down all the way to the toes from the top of your head. Intelligence, awareness. Awareness of the awareness is you. Reflection of that awareness is the attention. Did this get too intellectual? Amazing. Thus, remaining steadfast in yogic concentration on God, he who leaves the body and departs uttering the one indestructible sound of Om and dwelling on me in my absolute aspect reaches the supreme goal. Right now, just reach the goal that whatever seed you came in with today, at the start of today, you are not going to carry it into start of tomorrow. So any frustration, stress, anxiety, worked well, didn't work well, some cuckoo partner, something that the children said or the spouse said or the traffic. Oh my God, we go to bed with traffic. What if we come back as a Tesla next lifetime? Ooh, the highest model Tesla, but nonetheless, a rubber wheel moving you around. Because it's crazy. So don't end your day with what you
That was
don't
fun.
want. Otherwise, the next day is going to be like that. How you close your day determines your next day. How you die determines your next life. Each day is death, and each morning is birth. I don't know if now you have your pictures there or you're actually there because you're so still. Nobody moves. So I don't know if there's a photo there or a person there. Oh, hi. Oh, okay, they blinked. You don't even blink sometimes. Anyway, all good. Comments, questions, thoughts? We have 2 minutes. Such a good group I have.
Didi, I was just gonna say that we don't blink because sometimes you just take us into that space and we're like, ah.
Yeah, I mean, I think this piece is very important. This piece. Again and again, we meditate and we have a certain experience of being like bodiless, of awareness and intelligence, of being nowhere. And yet we never come out of it and solidify that as, oh, maybe I am not this solid piece of mass that I think I am, because I just spent an hour feeling correct, being nowhere, everywhere, and here at the same time. Wow, what? Okay. All right.
The,
Vishal, you have nothing? Oh, go ahead, Rahul. Rahul and
the
Pushpinder after.
whenever we are not feeling well and we are in the low energy, we are more into the body consciousness,
Yeah,
and then that triggers a pattern that we remain in the body consciousness.
yeah.
So how do we come out of it?
Move the thing that's dragging you. Move your body. That you see yourself as the body. It's dragging you further in the body. It's feeling solidified because you are going into the body, into matter. So move your body, run, jog, spin, dance, um, whatever. Move your body. So then you will also move around and out of the body. The more we get localized, the more we get localized. Doesn't that happen? You sometimes exercise or you run, or even when Guruji says shake, 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 remember? Like we do that meditation where you shake your hands, your
Uh,
body, and then you stop, and all your hands and everything which were feeling heavy feel like space, like, and just circulation on your arms or your chest, but don't feel the form of the body. Doesn't that happen?
yes.
Yes. So the solution is there. Just move the body. It's you are awareness, attention, intelligence, consciousness. And that thing has the quality of being happy, joyful, content, peace, enthusiastic, kind, loving, free, spontaneous, all those things. But we don't move. When we don't feel well, we go locking in more. We do quite the opposite. It's counterintuitive. We go further and further into the corner, into the box, right? Very easy mathematics. Run around the house. And the more foolish you run around, the faster and better you will be. Not measured, everything is measured. That's the intellect. I just told you. If you ask a parent, how do you feel after telling them, I know you love your son or your daughter, but this is so sorry. We made a mistake at the hospital. This is not your son. This one is your son. The thought will come in. Bhav will be changed somehow. You have to move out of thought and movement. Physical movement does a lot. Kushpinder, you had your hand up. Rahul, you look a little stunned.
Yeah, I will have to try it.
Try it, do it. Just do it. You'll see. I mean, the health industry is, making a lot of money on what I'm attempting to tell you to try. But maybe you're like one of those people who joins the gym, pays the membership, but then doesn't use it. You know, it's possible. Just do it for a mind's sake. You have to move the intelligence, the awareness. And when you run, it goes everywhere. If you prick the toe, one cell, one tiny needle, and you prick only one cell, the whole body has intelligence reaction to it. Ouch. You don't just pull the little toe, the little cell of the toe where you go, stop it. Don't prick me. That hurts. Oh my God, it was just a little prick on one little cell. No, that's what you think. It hurts. Okay, okay. Because you're spread out. But 99% of us walk around when we say me, it's here. You don't even say me. We say here. My head hurts. I don't know. It's here. There is no Rajshree with two legs and two arms sitting there that moves around. There's nothing. It's intelligence. There's no actual person. How many times have you looked with how many hollow and empties and you find nothing? They're just space, space, space. But the one who's moving around all this place, that is intelligence moving around. Is this one of those ding dings? Okay, sorry, Kuspinder, go. You had a hand up.
When we started this session, I was listening to Gurudev, and I had this thought, I was like, he's talking about something which I feel is way beyond my level. I feel like he's talking about PhD level stuff, and I've not even cleared grade one. And I was feeling very kind of hopeless, like, is there any hope of ever reaching what he's talking about? And then you address that. But, in my head, I was just, I don't think that's going to happen for me in this lifetime. and then when you talked about awareness, and just something clicked. I think something expanded in that moment. That awareness, and I was like, oh my God, we just pour meaning into things, into situations and people. And then I just had the realization that it's about these, like, probably little things that will just take me out one step at a time, and there's hope.
Yeah, I mean, I think that one of the drawbacks, this is just my experience or opinion, is that the knowledge often gives a description of the end game. Like what Lord Krishna is not telling us how, he's just telling us what is. He's telling Arjun, this is how it is. When this, then this. Okay, but how? That's not really there. If you ask an enlightened, they never answer as prior to enlightenment their small mind. They always answer now as the big mind. Have you noticed? Because that identity is completely gone. So the person who writes these things, the enlightened who speaks and writes these things, they give you the end result, not the journey so much. Of course, Patanjali is there who gives you science, but even Patanjali, the 9 obstacles. I don't want to know the obstacles. I get it. I have them, maybe one or all 9. But what the hell do I do with them? Vyadi. If you have Vyadi, health problem, you can't meditate. Well, thanks, Sherlock. I did not know that. Now that I do know, what do I do if I have those obstacles? They don't tell you. Don't do yes or no? I loved part one, Sayam. Why? Oh, the 9 obstacles. And then I say, and what about it? Then they tell me the 9 obstacles. I don't need more memory. I get that. I get the 9 obstacles. I could repeat them to you, but what did Patanjali say? How do you overcome it? Meditate. Oh, but you can't meditate if you have those 9 obstacles. I'm such a downer. Thanks, Didi. I did not think that, but now that you've clarified it, oh, thank you so much. No, they again and again say these 9 obstacles are there, and this is there, and you meditate, and somehow it keeps you bound to keep moving deeper, further, and the end result is helplessness. And that's when something beautiful can dawn. See? You stop all your doing, karta chutta hai. You drop all your doing, all your figuring, all your intelligence, all your, if I do A, B, and C, all the cause and effect drops at some point. And then you read and you appreciate it, but you don't look for the how anymore. And then you just have a little bit of sense of humor about the whole thing. Oh, I'll get there, won't get there, whatever. It's a game. Just play the thing and just keep going. In fact, if you go far enough, you're going to find there is no I. There's certain moments where like, what? Where am I? Who am I? What am I? Where am I? Oh, I'm a phantom. Like, there's a flash of that. So don't worry if we get it or don't get it. We waste an hour and a half every Tuesday. Not bad. We could do all kinds of, it's good. We waste an hour and a half every day, every Tuesday. Vishal, last question or comment.
Yeah, so Didi, the way I'm again not trying to be a doer or and judging from the intellect, just as a disclaimer, the gist of this is being aware that it's we're caught up in an identification or attachment with our body, our ideas, assumptions, beliefs, like you always say, but then also the names and forms and objects, people, situations that are in our, and we're just the all our semantics is around this, all our whatever, right, is around this, with the exception of when we meditate and or when we do our sadhana,
Yeah, I mean,
and
all
we,
our semantics is around just this
yeah,
thing, form.
yeah,
That's where all, nothing is as it appears. Nothing. This is just basic physics. This is not metaphysics, basic physics.
yeah,
And we have it like, I know what this, you don't know, we don't know anything. We really don't know anything. I mean, I'm not talking spirituality. I'm not talking anything other than the form that we see is not what it is. It's layer upon layer upon layer of conceptual illusions,
yeah.
you know?
I recently came across one of the brief videos about Adi Shankaracharya, and where it was like a animated thing, and it says, uh, "Let me." Somebody's asking why is the world an illusion, and then the gist of it is the response that comes from him is it's not the world that's an illusion. Like if I pour something, you experience it. It's your ideas, assumptions, whatever, all these semantics, which is really the illusion. So you watching the world through that lens of your whatever you have, your mind stuff is the illusion. It's not that the world is illusion. If I touch a piece of wood, it's real. Right. So
Yeah.
anyway, I'm kind of just it
No, but
resonated because that's what you're trying to say.
I mean, it's correct. I think it was Priyanka, I don't remember, who maybe shared something about one of the lessons from the advanced course, which was like, oh my God, all the stuff in the head is
Yeah.
is that you, Piku? Yeah, can you just say it in your words? I don't want to put words in your mouth.
Yeah, I think for me, in the silence, all the mind stuff is garbage. That's what you had said, and that was very clear because in that process we did. Um, I could feel that sadness separate from the cause of the sadness. Like I was like, I didn't even know I had so much sadness. Like I was trying to attribute it to a cause, like after after experiencing it.
It is really all nonsense. See, we don't have far sight. We say, I'm unhappy because, you know, Sureka said this to me. And then I look a little further. Well, Sureka said that because that other thing happened, because it's, you cannot pinpoint the reason why something happened. Do you agree with this or not? Yes or no? I need you to shake vehemently.
Yes. Yes.
You cannot. It's you pinpoint it because you don't look further than that.
Yeah. The cause
I'm
behind the
late.
cause behind the.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
I'm late for my appointment. Why? There was traffic. Oh, why was there traffic? There was an accident. Why was there an accident? The guy was driving drunk. Why was he driving drunk? Oh, his wife left him. Why did the wife leave him? They were having financial problems. Do you see? Why are you late now? Because that lady had a financial problem? Is that why you're late? This blows your whole system. You get short-circuited and then you stop trying to create cause and effect. And if you stop doing that, the blame game stops. And then if you ask the lady who had financial trouble, oh wow, what happened? You had a job. Yeah, my husband gambled. Ooh. Oh, so now you're late in traffic because some lady you never met, her husband was gambling. This is how interwoven life is, but we've narrowed it down to this created that. And we're always trying to solve that one little problem. And what the guru says again and again is let it go. Don't get stuck in this. Why, you, me. Don't get stuck there. If you say there's something more, the lady, the husband who's gambling, if you ask him, say, well, my child was sick. I had no choice, so I started gambling. Why did the child get sick? Oh, kindergarten, there was somebody who had COVID and they spread it everywhere. Ah, so you were late for a interview, a job of your life because somebody was spreading COVID. Yeah. You're not going to try to fix the COVID thing. You're going to try to fix finding another road only as the solution. Do that. Immediately do that. But don't get locked in your head. That is the garbage, Piku. It's garbage. What we think is garbage because it's so short-sighted. And yet, that's the instrument of intellect. We use it, but don't get stuck in it. That's the point. Don't be stuck in it. Don't give your thinking so much importance. We're not all that in our thinking. You know? It's all right. 7:33. Oh, you have your hands up. Now I have two hands up. Those who need to drop, please go ahead. Madhura, go ahead, and then Vicky after that. Go.
Didi, if one is in a lot of pain because of physical illness or injury, then in that state, how can one drop that I'm not this body? If you are in that means excruciating pain, you can't meditate, you can't do any
Correct.
pain.
That's right. That's called vyadi, pain in the body, physical pain. We cannot disassociate so easily, but there are moments that we do. You know, there are even in that pain. If you're just sitting there, really, somehow, if you settle down, you see that the pain feels far away. For sure, we dissociate when we sleep, right? The body is there. Whatever's happening in the body is still going on. You no longer experience it. That alone tells you you are not the body. But it's true. That takes certain degree of dismantling I am this body to I am more than this body. If that has not happened, it cannot happen. The specific example becomes difficult. No, I cannot say I'm there, but I can certainly tell you where there have been moments of pain that you wouldn't understand, but because of so many years of being with Gurudev and his grace and some amount of gift, there's the ability to know, okay, but I'm okay. We have the ability to separate because we are, not because we do it. Vicky, go ahead, please.
So this notion of trying to figure out, why the accident happened, what I find myself doing is more so asking myself, what's the lesson? So
I'll
it's
give you the answer for whenever you come to this question. Just let go. Relax.
yeah,
Accept. Who cares? These are the answers. Continuously looking for the lesson. You know what we're lesson teaching to? It's the ego. It's another way to strengthen the I identity, the small I identity. Okay, this happened. Next. And if you need a lesson, you have wide side as possible. Maybe it's not the widest, but there's so many reasons this could have been the lesson. You know what? I just need to let go. Take the lesson if you find a lesson, but I tell you something. We don't just learn the lesson, we keep digging.
right.
That's why it's not a lesson. That's why I say to you, let go. We never just say, oh, wow, the lesson is this. Immediately the ego will jump in, the mind will jump in and say, well, it could have been that. And never mind, if you talk to some third person, I hear what you're saying, but I think it's other than that. Ugh, why did I even bring this up to somebody?
It's more, now that you say it this way, it's not so much like the car accident, but it's more on a bigger picture. Why am I in this family? Okay, I'm in this family because these are the lessons that I'm getting right now that obviously I'm needing to get.
No, don't complicate life. Why? Remember I told you about my nephew last week? At 4 years old, he went to his mother and father and said, I don't know, how does this work? Why are you my parents? Why am I born here? Right? We don't have an answer to this, but listen, it's not so I'm in this, it's because you have something to give them and something to take from them. It's all lenden. You took something from them and they gave you something. It's just lena dena. Lena dena means give and take. You're just trying to complete the give and take. If you owe something, you give it. But we don't just give it with peace. Oh, why? I don't have to, I do all the things and you don't. And okay. That whole thing continues. We've talked about this. When you're losing, when your mind says, this is unfair, I'm losing, they took advantage of me, they didn't give my thing back, and you can't do anything about it, you should tell yourself, I owed it to them. God bless, go. Again, the lesson is let go. Yes?
Mhm.
We don't do that. We don't do that. We're always struggling to make things even, Steven, or more. The lesson there is If mom did something, or brother did something, or dad did something, it was unfair, whatever, however it happened, I must have owed them. You do what you can with peace of mind to change it. When it cannot be, I owe them. Take it. I must have done something. I threw the ball, it's just bouncing now. I'll catch it, it's okay. That's the only lesson. Don't complicate it more. It's not, now I need to figure out how to be more. Oh my God, that's psychology. Those kind of lessons, that's called self-help. Trillion-dollar industry. There's no end to self-help. Self doesn't need help.
Yeah. It's more like, though, what I was. So if I said to my sister, you have me as a sister so you can learn to stand up for yourself. I have you as a sister so I can stop fixing things.
Okay.
Kind of like that's the lesson.
No, but that's psychology. That's what I'm trying to say. And there's nothing wrong with that, but it's psychology. You know? Fixing the mind, the stuff that's garbage, fixing it. So if your sister's there and she's got to learn to stand up, okay. Okay. Is it working? No, it's somewhere you owe her something, and you could put it in the context of learning to stand up. Maybe she helped you out. She taught you, she picked you up. Maybe she empowered you. Like, students become teachers and teachers become students. Are you getting me? Don't analyze like that. That's what I'm trying to say. Go very broad. Okay, somewhere along the line, I owe her, and somewhere along the line, she owes me. But it's not attitudes in here, it's other things. It's the ability to let go. That is all that we need to practice. Only thing we need to practice in life is let go, relax, accept. It's okay, doesn't matter. Who cares? So what? So whatever you want to call it.
So
There's
it's
your
like, basically it's transcending the intellect and the ego and hence the mind, which is a playground which they all play, and kind of neutralize, just be in that state, right? Naturally.
God bless me, I'm not in your head.
It's just an observation, not an intellectual analysis.
No, but you see, why does your mind need to reframe it? The word let go is so simple. But it needs to reframe it into transcending the thing that I can't even repeat that sentence, and I'm usually good at repeating what someone just said. Why I cannot repeat it? Because it's not, it's words. It has no source in it. Let go is very difficult. And you proved it with that reframing. Can you not understand this? It's not you, it's just the human mind. It has to hold on, it has to survive, it has to exist, it has to prove something to itself because it doesn't want to die. So it keeps finding ways. All right. Just be happy.
Yeah,
Right?
I'm the real example of that letting go. Since last a lot of I went through, and that's what I have, practiced that letting go, let go. Always listen to the Gurudev, and finally I'm totally, everything was happening because of some reason. So that I उसमें से निकल गई, पास हो गया उसमें से.
This is the thing, no? Everything was happening for some reason, and I don't need to know that reason because
Yes.
it's your choice. That's a letting go statement,
Yes.
Vicky. See? There's some reason. Okay, I don't really need to know. I don't need to figure it out. I don't need to strengthen my psychology and my understanding. And there's some reason, God bless me, move me along. Done. Tata. Sleep well. Jai Gurudev. I'm gonna go make some dinner now. If this was in person, I would tell each person, tomorrow your turn to bring my dinner. Next Tuesday, your turn to bring my dinner. Hi. I love you guys. Thank you for sharing and being here together. Jai Gurudev.